Now that summer is here, it is time to hit the beach. And of course, to bring that book, critic and author John Searles is here with his top picks for the season's hottest page turners. And we've got them all lined up for you here. So write these down in case you haven't read them yet. Good to see you, first of all.
Nice to see you, too.
All right, let's talk about this. We talk about The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Everybody has been reading this the last couple of months.
Yes.
Now this is part of a trilogy, and this is the latest installment.
Yes,
and
this is the last one in the series, The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. Just to give you a sense of how big they are, the series has sold 40 million copies worldwide, which is massive for any book series. And there's some real life drama behind it too. Stieg Larsson, the author, died before the series was published, and now there's a legal battle going on between his family and his girlfriend about the rights to these books, and a lot of money at stake.
There's apparently a fourth one that's not yet completed.
Yeah, she claims on his computer, but we don't know. So all we know for now is this one's out, and there's American movie version in the works, and Kristen Stewart, Scarlett Johansson, Natalie Portman all vying for the role, I hear. So.
What is it about them, though? Is there one takeaway from these books that why are people so drawn to them?
I think they're just gripping, and everybody falls for the character of Lisbeth, the main character. So they want to find out what's going to happen to her. So.
All right, let's talk about Mockingjay here.
This is unusual because never before have I talked about a book where I haven't read a single word. But the publisher is being very secretive because it's not out until August 24th. But this is a trilogy that's really caught on. And if someone pitched this to me, I never would think it worked. It's post-apocalyptic fantasy young adult fiction about a reality show where children compete to the death. They fight to the death. So I would say that's not going to work, but somehow it's really caught on and people love it. August 24th, it's out. So,
okay. We moved to this because we know True Blood and all these vampire TV shows are doing very well, so why not a vampire novel, right?
Well, Meg Cabot is known primarily for her young adult fiction, Princess Diaries mainly. And in this one, she has a main character who hates vampires, is sick of them, but then she finds herself dating a vampire. And if that's not enough, she also discovers she has this weird ability to be able to tell when someone's going to die. So it's Chiclet meets the supernatural meets vampire. So it's everything rolled into one, and it makes a perfect beach book.
And those Chiclet books are great, like you said, great beach books, great reading.
Yes, great reading.
And it makes the time fly by.
Yeah, and Meg Cabot's a great writer. So
all right, let's talk about these Bret Easton Ellis books here.
Yeah, Bret Easton Ellis, anyone from a certain generation, mine, remembers that Lesson Zero was such a huge landmark book of its time. So this is the sequel to that book some 20 years later, but the same characters played by Robert Downey Jr. and Jamie Gertz in the film. And they're still out in LA, still grappling with a lot of the same issues, loneliness, struggling with drugs, wanting fame, love. And it's one of the weirdest covers on the list if you take a look at it. But it's also very arresting and alluring. It gets your attention. So I just thought I'd put it on the list because it's an important book in that sense.
Mess with the bull, you get the horns. And how about The Peculiar Sadness?
Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake is perfect book club reading, I think. So if there's a book club looking for a pick this summer, that's it. It's about a 9-year-old girl who discovers that she can taste the emotions of when her mother makes her a cake for her birthday, she can taste her mother's emotions and secrets in the cake. And the skill she can use with other people too. If I had this ability, I'd get really heavy because I'd want to know everyone's secrets. So.
A lot of buzz about this book.
Yeah, a lot of buzz. It's a great, fun literary pick.
And people who love the Food Channel
speaking of
love
food,
books like that, Medium Raw here by Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain made his name 10 years ago with Kitchen Confidential, and which was a no-holds-barred look at what goes on behind the scenes at restaurants. This time he is talking about the food world and famous chefs, and what's great is he's now an insider, but he still writes like an outsider, and he dishes about Rachel Ray and Sandra Lee and David Chang and all these great restaurants. So it's a food lover's book.
So a little gossip in there, too.
There's some gossip in there, a lot of gossip.
And let's go paperback here, because you need some of these to throw into the beach bag.
One Day by David Nichols. This is by far my favorite book on the list. I can't say enough about it. It's so great. It's about a couple who meets on July 15th in the 80s, and then each chapter is the next year in their lives and their relationship. So it takes us from the 80s up to the present, just about. And it's just a great, funny, and heartbreaking read. And then finally, This Is Where I Leave You, aptly named. It's by Jonathan Troper, and it's about a father who dies and the adult siblings are brought together in their very crazy, kooky family. And the line on the back of the book says it best, the ties that bind whether you like it or not. So.
Well, we're about to leave you in a second here, but if you had to pick one of these, going right down the line, which one, I know you like One Day, but all right, let's go the second book, because since you like that one so much, what would be your second favorite of the list?
I would say, well, I keep saying One Day I love so much, but I would say, let's see, Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake by Amy Bender.
All right, John. Thanks so much. Good to see you. Appreciate it.
Right.
For more on these summer reading suggestions, just go to our website, earlyshow.cbsnews.com.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.